Well, what's up, Taiwan? Yesterday I posted a video kind of a little bit about teaching in Taiwan and kind of what to look for and how is it good or bad. So I will give a little bit more information about it for the students' point of view, I guess. For not their point of view, but about the students. So if you come to Taiwan to teach English, you have to remember is you're not required to know Mandarin to teach English. A lot of schools actually prefer you to not speak English because again, it's easier to kind of siphon you in and out of schools. Again, Taiwan is really cool. A lot of good schools, but there's also equally a lot of bad schools that will give you really messed up contracts, overwork you, try to dip you on the pay a lot. And again, they don't want you to really know what's going on behind the scenes or what's happening with the coworkers or the drama or, if they're talking shit about you. So if you do come to Taiwan or any other country, you should learn a little bit of the language of that country. It will help you go a long way, especially with students. So that's what we're going to talk about today, students. So again, a lot of students in Taiwan, they go to school. It is like a job for them. They're at school almost the whole day, doing homework and tests and studying. And then what happens when you get to like a bushiban or a cram school, you'll have students who don't want to be at school. Whether it's because they don't care about the English, which is okay. Every subject is different. Everybody likes different subjects. So whether they don't like English as just a general study, they don't see a use for it, like they're gonna use it anywhere. Another one is it is too difficult, meaning like they are too far behind. So what happens a lot is a lot of schools will push students up book levels, even when they probably should be held back longer. Again, some schools will hold students back a little bit, usually maybe like one book, and then after that even the good schools will kind of hold them back maybe one book, and then they'll push them up the next book because again, the parents kind of complain and they're paying the money for the student to go. So again, the student doesn't care about studying, or it's too difficult and they're falling behind, but the schools are still pushing them up in the system, meaning they're just getting more and more far behind, which and again results as while those kids or the ones who are having a bad family environment, like a bad home, or they're having drama at home or abusive parents. There's still a lot of that in Taiwan, a lot of very traditional people. So whippings and beatings and stuff like that, it's kind of normal. I had a student before like that. I gave him a bad grade on a test, and then the next day their mom came in with them and they had like a black eye and stuff. I felt like crap when they came in together because what happened. So again, sometimes it's just abusive household. So they kind of take that out at school. So again, what to watch out for with the more naughty kids is if you know a little bit of Mandarin, the naughty kids will talk about you in Chinese. It might be directly to you, and they just assume that you don't understand that you don't understand the Chinese. So they will say some pretty messed up, rude, and inappropriate stuff towards you or to other classmates in Chinese, thinking that you don't understand. So if you do come, it is good to try to learn maybe some phrases or a good amount where you can kind of understand what a student might be saying. So again, they'll use a lot of naughty words about saying but or the chicken. They like to say the chicken a lot, or if you're a foreigner, they might call you if you're an African American girl or just a girl from somewhere in Africa or a guy from somewhere in Africa, they might just call you black person. Sometimes it's not on purpose to be offensive, and sometimes they're doing it on purpose. So it really depends. But if you know what they're saying, like you understand it, then you can kind of snip it in the bud very early. So I know a little bit of Chinese, not a whole lot, but enough in my classes where if I hear the students talking about chickens or butts, or they're telling people to shut up, or telling me to shut up, or calling me a pig or something like this, then I will be able to interrupt them and let them know, hey, I understand what you guys are talking about. Don't speak that way, and we're in class. Please use English. So this way lets them understand that you understand them. Even if you really don't, it gives them the facade that you know what they're talking about. So they need to watch what they say. Because again, a lot of the students are used to seeing a 1-year foreign teacher come and go. So the respect level for the foreign teachers in some schools is not very high for the students, and sometimes not for the teachers either, to be honest, because again, they see a lot of bad teachers who are only there for fun and hanging out. So they're just in and out. They don't care about relationship or connecting with the students too much, or, to them it's just like a side job that they don't care about too much about. So a lot of the students have that kind of feeling with a lot of teachers. It's like they just come and go. So again, the naughty kids might talk back to you, or they will talk in Chinese or Mandarin in class, or Taiyu. They might talk in Taiyu too. That's Taiwanese. They'll talk like that in class, maybe about you. They'll say mean things about you or talk bad about you. And if you understand a little bit, it can be hurtful, because you'll tell the kids to stop. And like I said, but there are some kids who just don't care. And it's more difficult on those kids because just the society in Taiwan is like, if the kid really doesn't want to go to the school, or they don't really care about the English, they'll be disruptive for the whole class. They'll, it can become a problem. So you have to be able to set hard boundaries as a teacher. So when you come to Taiwan, understand is you need to be a fun, interactive teacher. The students will open up more to you. And even if they are a little bit colder to you at first, it's because they probably had 1 or 2 English teachers, or maybe even more before. So you're just the next number that's only there for the 1 year, and then you're gone. So they don't really want to form any bonds or connections with you. So being energetic and friendly will help you go a long ways in opening up students, and make sure to set, like I said, boundaries. That's a very big thing at schools, is you need to set boundaries. So if the kids are saying any naughty words or anything bad, you need to check them in class saying, hey, don't say that. That's wrong or rude. Explain why. Take off points. Take them away from game so they can't play the game that lesson or that part of the class. You need to be able to have good reward and punishment set in place, because again, a lot of students, not a lot, but there are the naughty students who will just be disruptive. And again, sometimes it's hard to get them, they won't leave. They'll still be in the system for a couple of years. I had a girl like that in one of my classes where I had to just not teach that class no more, because her parents, I forgot what they were. I'm not sure if they're in the police or like a lawyer. They had a lot of money, and again, their daughter did terrible in all of her tests. She didn't really care, and she was a very loud girl, but she didn't like authority. And again, she didn't really have much time with her parents or her family, so she was kind of, spiteful towards everybody and everything and authority figures, which again, understandable. But in class, you're taking away from all the other students who might be enjoying it or who are at the level. So she'd be obnoxious, very rude. She would talk bad. She would say many rude things in Chinese to you or about you and argue with you. I'd get her out of the classroom a couple times. But, eventually I just had the boss to tell him I won't be teaching that class no more, because she won't respect the boundaries, so I won't teach that class. And that was how I settled that one. And then I just got another class. The class was great, and I didn't have any more troubles. I just made sure to establish boundaries earlier. But yeah, so that's kind of what to deal with students and teaching in Taiwan. But only the bad ones. They got a lot of good ones too. They got a lot of sweet kids that are nice and fun. Just have to be careful of the bad ones. They might talk bad about you. All right, peace, guys.